Did you know that the minimap in Visual Studio Code can actually be useful beyond just being an oversized scroll bar? Here's how. I'm in Visual Studio Code here, and I have my project CSS stickers open. Right here, I see the minimap, and I can use it to drag around this file. I will open my settings using the command comma shortcut. I will find my minimap options here on the text editor minimap. I will not go over the basic options. They are pretty much straightforward. If you look into them, you'll understand exactly what they do. The first option that I want to mention is maximum column. And this one is a little bit confusing, and it might not be obvious how it actually works. Some people think that this increases the size of the minimap. Well, it does in some cases, but generally speaking, this only restricts it to maximum of this value. And this value is actually dependent on the minimap size itself, which is pretty much fluid based on the file size, based on the line sizes in your file. So you can never know exactly what size your minimap will be rendered. But as a rule of thumb, if you want a bigger minimap, then you will set this value to something higher. And if you want a smaller minimap, you can set it to something lower. Just know that if you set it for one file specifically, in a different file, it might look bigger or smaller based on that file and a number of other parameters. And now we've finally gotten to section header letter spacing and show marked section headers. And this is actually the option that I wanted to showcase. When you're working with the minimap, you only see the outline of your code, but you can actually add headlines to various parts of your code. So the way this works is that when you're in a file, you create a comment and you prefix that comment with a string mark. I'll do it right here. And now this marked sections will appear in my minimap. You can see it right here. So if you have various logical sections in your code, you can mark them with specific keywords, which will help you more easily find exactly the section, exactly the part of the code that you're looking for. I'll add another section here, for example. Let's add another mark button. And now this is going to appear right here. And if I scroll around my minimap, I will very easily see where my buttons are. I don't have to glance the code. I don't have to understand how my button code looks to jump into it. I can immediately see where specific sections of my code are. I have this set up from my main CSS file. I'll open it right now, and you can see here we have a grid, details, button, and this allows me to very easily jump exactly to the part of the code that I'm looking for. Here are my icons, for example. I find this very useful, very handy, and this is actually the most useful thing about Minimap if you're asking me. Let's jump back into settings, and here's another thing that I want to mention: show region section headers. Now in Visual Studio Code, you can create regions, and you do that by using the region comments. Again, I will open my .prettier.js file, and let's say I want to create a folding region here. I will add a region comment and then title that I want to see in my minimap, and I will end my region right here. This is going to be another comment and region. And now I have this folding region that I can use in my code, and it's also shown in my minimap designated right here. The problem with regions is that they don't work in CSS or HTML files, or rather the regions work, but their headlines are not shown in the minimap. So if you're going to be working with regions, just know that they might not show up in your minimap. The section headers designated with the keyword mark, on the other hand, will always work, so use those. And if you're wondering about the code that you're seeing here, this is actually the code for my project CSS stickers. This is a set of beautifully designed CSS themed stickers. I designed them myself, so they must be beautiful, right? If you want to check them out and if you want to buy a pack, I'll really appreciate it, and I'll give you a discount code. I don't know what discount I can actually give you because my margins are extremely low here, but use the coupon code that you'll see on the screen and in the comments section below and get the pack at an exclusively discounted price. Thank you so much for your attention. My name is Zoran Jambor. I will see and hear you in a different Visual Studio Code minimap section, or rather in the next video, and specifically in this one that you're seeing on the screen right now.